Hey there, fellow Americans. If you're feeling the pinch of inflation and wondering how you'll make ends meet, I've got some exciting news that might just put a smile on your face. New York Governor Kathy Hochul has just announced a groundbreaking proposal for a $1,312 stimulus check aimed at helping New Yorkers combat rising costs. Before we dive deep into this game-changing announcement, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on crucial stimulus updates that could put money in your pocket. The latest stimulus proposal comes at a critical time when Americans across the country are grappling with soaring prices of everyday essentials. From groceries to gas, utilities to housing, the impact of inflation has been felt by everyone. But what makes this particular stimulus proposal different from previous ones, and who exactly qualifies for this much-needed financial relief? Governor Hochul's proposal is specifically designed to address the unique challenges faced by New York residents. The $1,312 stimulus check isn't just another random number. It's been carefully calculated based on current inflation rates and the average increased costs that households are facing. But you might be wondering, what inspired this specific amount, and how was it determined? The answer lies in extensive economic research and analysis conducted by state financial experts. They found that the average New York household has seen an additional monthly expense of approximately $109 due to inflation. The $1,312 stimulus check represents a year's worth of this extra burden, providing crucial relief to families struggling to maintain their standard of living. Now, let's talk about eligibility. Who can expect to receive this stimulus payment? The proposal targets middle and low-income New Yorkers with specific income thresholds in place. Single filers earning less than $75,000 annually and joint filers making under $150,000 would be eligible for the full amount. But what happens if you earn more than these thresholds? Would you be completely excluded, or is there a sliding scale? Interestingly, the proposal includes a phase-out system. For every $1,000 earned above the threshold, the stimulus amount would decrease by a certain percentage. This ensures that those who need the most help receive the full amount, while still providing some assistance to those slightly above the income limits. But when can eligible residents expect to see this money in their accounts? The proposed payment schedule is particularly noteworthy. Unlike previous stimulus payments that came in one lump sum, this one is designed to be distributed in quarterly installments of $328 each. This strategic distribution aims to provide sustained support throughout the year, rather than a one-time boost. But why did they choose this quarterly approach, and how might it benefit recipients differently from a single payment? The reasoning behind the quarterly distribution is fascinating. Economic studies have shown that people tend to manage smaller, regular payments more effectively than larger lump sums. This approach also helps ensure that the stimulus maintains its intended purpose of offsetting ongoing inflation-related expenses, rather than being used for one-time purchases. What about the application process? How will eligible New Yorkers claim their stimulus checks? The proposal includes a streamlined application system through the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. Residents who filed their 2022 tax returns would automatically be considered. But what about those who haven't filed or don't typically file taxes? For non-filers and those who haven't submitted their 2022 returns, a special application portal would be established. This ensures that even the most vulnerable populations, including seniors on fixed incomes and disabled individuals, don't miss out on this crucial financial support. But what documentation will be required, and how can people prepare? The verification process would require proof of residency, income documentation, and identification. However, the state plans to make the process as simple as possible, learning from previous stimulus programs' challenges. They're even considering using existing state databases to pre-verify eligible recipients, potentially eliminating the need for additional documentation for many applicants. One particularly innovative aspect of this proposal is its consideration of current bank account information. The state plans to use direct deposit information from previous tax returns or state benefit payments, but what if your banking details have changed? How can you update your information to ensure you receive your payment promptly? The proposal includes provisions for a dedicated portal where residents can update their banking information. This portal would also allow people to track their payment status and receive notifications about upcoming distributions. But what security measures are in place to protect against fraud and ensure payments reach the intended recipients? Speaking of security, the state has incorporated several anti-fraud measures into the proposal. These include advanced identity verification systems and cross-referencing with other state databases. But how effective will these measures be, and what should recipients do to protect themselves from potential scams related to these payments? Another crucial aspect of the proposal addresses the timing of these payments. The first distribution is planned to begin within 60 days of the proposal's approval. But what factors could affect this timeline, and how might the approval process impact when people actually receive their money? The legislative process for approval involves several steps, including committee reviews and public comment periods. But what can citizens do to support this proposal and potentially speed up its implementation? How can they make their voices heard and express their support or concerns about the program? Let's talk about the economic impact of this stimulus program. How will injecting these funds into the local economy affect businesses and communities? Studies from previous stimulus programs have shown a multiplier effect, where each dollar spent generates additional economic activity. But how might this program's quarterly distribution approach influence its economic impact? The proposal also includes provisions for tracking and measuring the program's effectiveness. The state plans to monitor how recipients use the funds and assess the impact on various economic indicators. But what metrics will they use, and how will this data influence future stimulus programs? One interesting aspect that sets this proposal apart is its focus on sustainable relief rather than just immediate assistance. The quarterly payment structure is designed to help families budget and plan for the future. But how might this approach influence spending patterns and financial behaviors in the long term? The proposal has garnered significant attention from other states as well. Could this become a model for similar programs across the country? What lessons from New York's approach might influence future state-level stimulus initiatives? It's worth noting that this stimulus proposal is part of a broader economic relief package. How does it complement other existing support programs? And what additional measures might be needed to provide comprehensive inflation relief? The funding for this program raises important questions about state budgets and fiscal responsibility. How will New York fund these payments? And what impact might this have on other state programs and services? The proposal outlines several funding sources, including budget surpluses and federal grants, but how sustainable is this approach? Looking ahead, what does this stimulus proposal mean for the future of state-level economic relief programs? Could this set a precedent for how states respond to economic challenges? And what might this mean for federal stimulus efforts? For those wondering about the tax implications, the proposal specifies that these payments would not be considered taxable income at the state level. But what about federal taxes? How should recipients plan for any potential tax consequences? The proposal also includes special considerations for certain groups, such as self-employed individuals and gig workers. How will their eligibility be determined? And what additional documentation might they need to provide? As we wrap up this detailed look at Governor Hochul's stimulus proposal, It's clear that this could be a significant development for New York residents struggling with inflation. Remember to stay informed about updates and developments regarding this proposal, as timelines and details may evolve during the approval process. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on this and other stimulus programs. We'll be covering every development and bringing you detailed analysis of what it means for you and your family. Hit that like button if you found this information helpful, and share this video with anyone who might benefit from knowing about this potential financial relief. What are your thoughts on this stimulus proposal? Do you think the quarterly payment approach is better than a lump sum? Share your opinions in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about how this program might impact our communities. Remember, staying informed and engaged is crucial as these proposals move through the legislative process. Together, we'll navigate these economic challenges and keep you updated on every development that could help put money back in your pocket. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video with more crucial updates on stimulus programs and financial relief measures.